for now, the second of the speakers is Sibusiso Mjoli, who's also a director, as Boyce is, of QQP Publishers. And the point made, they published a very important essay guide, which for many people involved in this industry is very much just that, a critical guide to what you do. Sibusiso, go ahead.
All right, thanks a lot, Ashraf. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and morning to the listeners. I'm just going to talk very briefly about the purpose of the symposium that you are running. We're running the symposium starting with this one, which is the Gauteng Symposium. And the plan is that we'll be moving to all 9 provinces. And we basically saying the symposium, what we're trying to do really is to, we're providing a platform, which platform that is for really for business to interact, to talk, to network. We're looking at providing this enabling environment whereby we really start to discuss and share opportunities that are available in various sectors, in various provinces, and really move to a point where we say the different opportunities that we identify, how best then do we make sure that they are funded appropriately, how best do we make sure that there is the correct infrastructure or appropriate infrastructure to make sure that the opportunities are taken advantage of. So in a nutshell, really, this is really one of the many that we are going to be rolling out into the various parts of the province. This, what's more important for us really is a partnership that we've forged with the SAFM as a priority. They will be our partners that we'll be working with going forward in terms of the rollout that we're going to be doing. So in a nutshell, really, the symposium, what we're really doing, we're positioning South Africa as a destination of choice, not only to our locals, also, of course, to the rest of the world. Our publication, as Boyce was mentioning earlier, it really is distributed across worldwide. So from that perspective, it just gives that much reach for our partners as well as, of course, the country as South Africa. We're positioning in terms of the trade, investment, and tourism as our priority. But of course, we're not leaving out the other sectors that when you go through our publication, they are all captured in terms of really what is available within the country, what opportunities are there, and how best really take advantage of those. And of course, I already said, what we're looking at, when we go to the different provinces, we try to lobby various businesses within the provinces. So it could be in the mining sector, it could be in the manufacturing sector, it could be any other sector, and really use the platform to say, aspiring entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs that are already doing business, and of course big business, let's join hands together and let's really see how best we can then use the opportunities that are available in different provinces to really drive the whole economic drive of saying let's create jobs, let's get the economy moving, and just to make sure that we ready to do our part in terms of moving the economy forward. So all what is underpinning everything that we're doing is the partnerships, making sure that we partner with all stakeholders across the different sectors and making sure that the partnerships that we bring, they bring the required, of course, value so that we drive the process going forward for both the government and the country. At the moment, these are just typically some of the key stakeholders that we're working with, Department of Trade and Industry, SA Tourism, just to mention, of course, development agencies in the country, economic development agencies, Brand SA as an example, as well as, of course, SAFM as our core partner in this initiative that we are running with. We're really looking at different, of course, in terms of areas really that we'll be focusing on as we roll out the initiative to different provinces. As I was just mentioning, that what we're looking at is really different. Different provinces have got different opportunities that we can explore. So we'll be really having role players from all the different sectors that we really then start talking about what are the top tourist attractions available in the country. And then how best we can leverage on those, take advantage, and really making sure that when we can identify new business, small business, start emanating out of that. And then, of course, we'll be doing that, making sure that whilst we're doing the symposium, we give the listeners as well as the audience that's involved opportunities to ask questions, see how best maybe the solutions may come out of the symposium itself, and then we can just take it from there. So that's really the approach. The symposium, of course, we're starting today with the Gauteng one, and then going forward, we'll be doing the Mpumalanga in September, and then moving to Eastern Cape in October, and then Western Cape. So the idea being that by end of April 2014, we will then have rounded off the whole country in terms of the 9 provinces. And then we will join at that point, just to really reflect in terms of what impact it has created, and then what value is it bringing around the different areas, and how best we can really make sure that going forward with our partners, we improve and we leverage on all the gains that we make along the way. And then just to mention, of course, just a few benefits that will come out of the broadcast. We're really looking at this as promoting local businesses. As I was saying, that we invite local businesses to participate, and of course, from that perspective, they really can get a lot of value out of the initiative. But the bottom line is that for us, really, this is also should have the spin-offs of job creation, because invariably the businesses that we identify, the opportunities and the funding that with our partners we put in place, we should be able to really start kickstarting a whole lot of initiatives that were not there previously. And just in summary, on the broadcast, the symposium themselves, we also have packages that we are offering in terms of different stakeholders and partners who would like to join us. Just to mention, of course, it's got silver, gold, and platinum sponsorship, but the detail, of course, we can share separately afterwards. Thank you very much.
Thanks for that, Boyce. Now, we've got about 2 minutes before we get to news time. It's interesting in terms of, maybe you could just stay there, Boyce. Rather than Boyce, Sibusiso, because we're getting to about 2 minutes before we get to news time. Let me do this. I'm happy even now. We'll have Q&As later on as well. Even now, if you wish to ask any questions right away, just raise your hand. We've got, I think, 2 or 3 runners who will actually get to you now. So you've got like 2 minutes to do that now. If you don't, then you give me the chance to ask questions. Which may not be the right thing, but it's always better if you ask questions, okay? So if you want to do that, just raise your hands right away. And we'll get someone to come to you right away. In the meantime, Sibusiso, thanks for that. Let's just talk about this. You know, you made the point about one of the key issues here is promotion of business, right? And there's a sense amongst many people around the country, and I'm looking at local business in particular, that there's lots of talk around a lot being done. But there's also a sense among many people that they want to enter the market. There's a sense of despondency. There's a sense of broad macro ideals, but in practical terms, it doesn't really deliver. How would this change things? Right. You obviously may even argue to say that's not the case, but how would it change it if it is?
All right. Thanks very much for the question, Ashraf. The approach that we are taking, I was just mentioning that we try to go for a very inclusive approach in terms of the partners and stakeholders. The advantage being that when you work with IDC in a region, let's say as in Mpumalanga as an example, we'll have an IDC representative who will be the person then who takes responsibility for following up, making sure that the people from the audience or the listeners, they've got the number and the name. They know exactly the person to conduct whatever they're looking for. So the difference is like, instead of having to phone a switchboard of a big organization and you don't know who to speak to about what you are looking for, you will be having a specific person that you deal with. So things can be followed up much more vigorously.
Okay. Just quick one even now, because I'm sure others may ask this question as we get to the 9 provinces. Basically what you're saying is break down the door in short circuit. If we can do that, that's one of the key things in business. So can others who are not here today, can they attend any of the other symposiums?
Correct. They can attend.
It is open to the public.
Correct. What we will do, we'll send invitations. Of course, everybody else who confirms that they would like to attend, then they can come to the symposium.
Okay. And as part of that, would it also form less talk but workshops? That means brainstorming, so that you don't just come and listen, but you come and participate as well?
Correct. That's what we are looking at. Hence, we are seeing that you may find that one province has got more mining than it has got in terms of tourist attractions. So the opportunities will be skewed depending on what a province has got to offer. So the people of the local business within each province will have much more information in terms of what opportunities really can be leveraged on in each province.
Okay.
So it will be more specific and more focused.
It's certainly something I'll encourage. We're going to chat further, and I'll invite you as well to ask questions. We'll do that in the next 3 minutes. So raise your hands now. Think about it. What's the one question you may want to ask Sibusiso Mjoli, the director